All right, here we are. Today we're going to be talking about a couple RPOs from this past week. Some interesting stuff. The full thing's going to be in the article here, but I kind of want to walk through a couple that we've not really seen before, or something they've not really done. So let's get to it here. So we're going to look at two plays today. This one is going to be, and you can see the plays already in motion. We're going to run this in a second, but Mercedes Lewis is kind of, he's going in motion there, and they end up moving the defense a little, which leaves Sammy Watkins ISO'd over here. So what they're going to do, this is going to be a power concept, which they've been doing more and more lately. We'll look at that in a second, which is good. I'll talk about that when we get there. I don't need to talk about that now. The main thing is the tag on this. We'll tackle the tag first. The tag on this is a backside slant read. And Rodgers is going to throw this because he likes that matchup there. So, if you're looking at that, the math is, again, for an RPO, you always want the defense to be wrong. You're trying to throw or run into an advantageous situation. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you got Lewis is going to attach on the end there. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they've got +1. You've got the two running backs back here. I don't know why I did one box and one in a circle. That doesn't matter. But they've got +1 in the game there. And so if you're doing that, they say, maybe we can block this up. You can, I don't know, crack Lazard down, something like that. But you're looking for advantages where you can get them, and that's what the RPO game is all about. So you're kind of outnumbered in the box here. So, okay, I'm going to bet that my guy can beat his guy on a little slant there. So that's the pre-snap read. The reason I think they like this is you don't get a whole lot of vertical pushing RPOs from the Packers offense. And I think the reason for that, we don't have a really good reason for that. I think the reason for that is that Rodgers doesn't really like them. We vertical pushing, typically you have like a conflict defender. And so it would be like, maybe there's a linebacker there or something. And so you're pulling the ball, you're kind of showing the handoff. You're seeing what that break is. You're reading that guy. And if he crashes, then you would throw behind him. And if not, then you run the ball. That's the idea of a conflict defender. I don't know if I talked about that too much. I'm going to be talking about that a little later this week as well. So if you're interested, you can certainly get into that. But this, I think the reason Rodgers probably likes this, and I wouldn't be shocked to see more of this, is because it's strictly ISO'd. You still have no conflict defender. Rodgers likes his RPOs to be pre-snap read. And so you've got that. What's the box count? How many guys do I have blocking? I don't like the numbers there. I like this matchup out here. It has nothing to do with a post-snap read. You're simply saying, what do I like pre-snap? I like pre-snap. I like my numbers here. I'm going to take that there. And so we'll run this. See, the defense shifts, which leaves even more area. You've got this whole area here to play with. The safety's not getting there, which means you got that whole area to slant into. I just got to beat this man to the inside. So again, no post-snap read here. This is strictly pre-snap. Rodgers likes the matchup on the outside. And so he's going to snap this, puts the ball in the belly. They're coming, and he throws that. Now it ends up incomplete, which is fine. I like that they tried it. I have been an advocate for more vertical pushing RPOs, so I'm glad they tried that, even if it's just the slant as opposed to kind of more of that glance route. Anyway, we will get into, let's see. So the concept here that they're running, we'll kind of run this here to kind of set our bearings a bit. Is you've got this like a pin pull thing, really, which is something they're doing a little more of. I guess a little less pin pull, but you're pulling, I think it's 70 across. So everyone's kind of blocking down and you're pulling over. So that's something that the Packers under LaFleur have been almost strictly a zone blocking team. In 2021, they ran power, this pull gap stuff, only about 5% of the time. So far through 2 games, they're at 25%. Which is good. That's a good thing we want to see. I want to see that in the run game. You kind of use those bodies, you get them in space, you pull those guys. And so we saw that a little bit here. The other good thing about the RPO game is that, you're kind of, again, you're blocking down, you're pulling. That pulling stuff, you're setting up these blocks, you're running to a gap. That stuff takes time, which is what you want. The longer you can keep some of this stuff occupied here, the longer you have to throw. These RPOs got to be quick hitters, because if they don't hit quick, suddenly you got this guy. He's pushing downfield. He's trying to get to the second level. And once you get to a certain level, then suddenly you're hitting ineligible receiver downfield penalties. So the RPO's got to be out quick. But by kind of keeping this stuff up front, where you're blocking, pulling, it's a longer developing run play just because of the way that the offensive line is moving. So it makes sense to kind of tie this stuff in a little more. Work this in not only to the run game, but to the RPO game as well. So they do that here. You can see 70 is there. He pulls around. So you've got Dylan, and by the looks of it, if we look at that run fit there, it looks like the Bears fit that up pretty well. You can kind of see they're attacking roughly there. Dylan will be going there, and they've got it. So the decision to throw is a good one. Again, outnumbered in the box. That's why he throws that. It just falls incomplete. It was good coverage. Watkins couldn't quite get the separation on that. Throws a little off. Whole bunch of things going in there. But overall, I like the look to kind of push that a little more vertically down the field. That's something I've been hoping they were going to do more last year and certainly this year. I don't know if they're ever going to do that as much as I hope, as much as a team like, say, Buffalo does in their RPO game, as much as the Eagles did kind of in their heyday of running the RPO stuff. But it is something that I think hopefully we'll see a little bit more. This is another vertical pushing RPO, and this is one that they will actually end up running on for a gain of 7. But I like the look because it's not something I've seen before. So we'll kind of run it here for a minute because we're going to see some motion, which then transfers into what they end up doing. So there we go, and he's open. This is something we don't really see. This is kind of more, you get the slant here, but you have to have, it's a kind of a drag in or a slant flat, but it's out of motion. You're slicing that guy across. He's releasing into the flat. So you still get this kind of slant flat motion, but you're getting there in a way where that flat is just firing off of there because he's running full speed on the line on that jet motion. He releases, he goes there. Again, not something I've seen too much because you've got a little combo here. So this is a concept they run a lot, that slant flat. Normally you run a little static, but you've got a little motion there, freeing up that guy. You're getting him in motion. He's releasing full speed, but you're also kind of doing this on a familiar kind of quick game concept the Packers run. Rodgers has been running since, probably his first start. I mean, this is old West Coast stuff. The McCarthy loves slant flat. They still love slant flat. So it's something that he has a ton of experience with reading and all that, and they're tying that into the RPO. Now, what he's doing, he appears to be he's reading these guys over here. Now, I think he's handing it off anyway. He would have done that, but maybe this is something on tape that they see. All right, man, this guy's got here. He's kind of looking back at the run fit, and Lazard's got all this space out here. If Rodgers throws that, I'm not saying he should have thrown it, anything like that. And as we're going for 7, we'll look at this. You got pullers up front. We're going to look at that side in a second. But so again, not second guessing, just saying this is something that on tape, this is something, again, a look I've not really seen, something I'm not really familiar with in terms of, again, the concept they know, the concept tying to an RPO is something relatively new. So this is something that maybe is just a little bit new. They'll see this on film and go, oh, hey, that was kind of open. Lazard, wide open the flat. These guys are tied up here. That jet combined with the run fit and the play action that causes some confusion. You've got Lazard wide open there. Now they do hand it off to Dylan, I believe, is the back here. We're going to look at this from the back. No, it's Jones, and he has a nice hard run for 7. So we're going to see again kind of a guard counter pull here, a power look. You've got, looks like, blocked down from Lewis. You got this YY wing over here, or hip slot, whatever you want to call it, down there with the 2 tight ends in alignment. Blocked down. Tyler Davis is looking to get to the second level. You're going to pull, I believe it's these 2 men here around, and then just bring it's not AJ Dillon. It's Aaron Jones right in behind him. So you're going to see those pullers. So you got those pullers right there. You got the block down. So you got this little pin down, block there, block there. These guys are pulling around. You're attacking an area, then you're running Jones into that area. So that's the stuff of the power runs. You're not just running and you're trying to pick a side. You can cut back on some of this stuff, but you're looking to attack an area. That's what you're doing. He kind of has a little cut back there, so you kind of get the kick out block. Jones cuts inside. Hard running, 7 yards. Again, I like this because it is something that's relatively new. It's something that you have the option to push downfield or get a guy in motion. On this specific one, they did have Lazard open. Again, not second guessing anyone, but it is something that on tape, maybe when they watch this later, they go, we had him. Maybe we can throw that the next time. As it is, again, I really like adding power into the game, not just in the RPO, but in the run game in general. Kind of gives a new look, gives a different way to attack defenses. That's something I've been waiting for 2 years now. So I see them doing this, and doing this in the RPO game is very, very exciting.